welcome back everyone, welcome back. Whew, hope you had a lovely break there. Hope you enjoyed the brutal OST. Do apologize for the extended break, but the videos are done and our fresh series is now available. It's you know, the previous kind of rush games, the previous matches here that we broadcast, they were just too fast for our players, Pappy. Too fast, too quick. Now we're able to slow things down and enjoy ourselves. I would imagine some mid-game. This morning in the bottom right hand corner of At Attorney's Edge, we have the orange Zerg player representing Stallibles. It is GgMaChine. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player. We have the Polish Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats. Coming into this, I would say that the skill disparity is quite low between these two players. Or I should say the skill gap is much smaller between these two players. They're very close in skill, very close in play. Gerald, he does thrive in the mid game. GgMaChine, he has been known to embrace some longer games at time as well. Right now, when it comes to the meta of PvZ, we've been seeing so many all-ins players, especially from the Korean side of things. So Rogue, Shin, Solar, the top three, the three Korean Zerg players right now, they do almost nothing but all in this matchup. But when it comes to the European side of things, players like GgMaChine, players like Lambo as well, players like Cyril, Rainer, they have been known to mix in some more mid to late game play as well. So I'm curious to see how GgMaChine will approach this. For now, hatch gas pull, standard opener, likewise gate expand out of Geralt as well. Welcome on all to At Attorney's Edge. At Attorney's Edge is a interesting map in the map pool. It has its own unique quirks, of course. Some of the big factors are we have they're talking about how big the main is, and the fact that we have a pocket here as well, a little area where you can drop in with a War Prism, with Dropper Lords, with Nidus play as well, and hide something further back behind this. I was gonna say that Geralt has been very inactive as of late. I actually haven't casted Geralt in weeks, if not months. I don't think Gerald's actually had much experience with the TLMC maps, unfortunately, so it's been a while. He's been busy with other things, of course, like he's been busy with his IOL career. For those who don't know, he did finish law school, I believe. So Gerald, focusing on other aspects of his life, of course, has been less active, but at least we're able to experience him playing on some of his TLMC maps for the first time. Let's go. But when it comes to some of the interesting features, we do have the goal base. We have the goal base here in the center left hand corner of the map, and we have high yield gas bases here in the top right side instead. So one side has high yield gas, the other side has high yield minerals, so you can expand in either direction depending on which kind of resources you find more valuable, of course. Meanwhile, a follow up here out of it. Gerald's going for a Twilight Count's opener. Oh my god, being hyper aggressive here. The Overlord does go in for the scout, and the Overlord should confirm the tech of choice, and does. There we go, Twilight Count's opener. So before we go into the map itself, this is a hyper aggressive build going for a Dark Shrine. Okay, does throw it down off in the corner of the main. Based on the timing of the Twilight Council, this could be DTs or it could be Adepts. GgMaChine is still in the dark as to what is going to be going on, and he'll have to play it safe to be ready for whatever comes his way. So we should be seeing GgMaChine cut workers early. Get a Roach Warren. Yep, there we go. That's a pretty early Roach Warren. 3:35 Roach Warren timing here. But this means that Roaches will be available in case it is going to be Glaive Adepts. Likewise, GgMaChine should be setting up his wall with a Zero Chamber to make sure he's able to fully wall off at the natural as well. Meanwhile, the Prism is on the way. Dark Templar are coming, and hopefully we get some safety spores. As I mentioned earlier, based on the scouting information, there's no confirmation exactly. It could be DTs or it could be Glaive Adepts. Those are the two big things that it could be. Technically, we could go for early like Blink and early Charge, but those builds are very obscure and very niche. And so far, GgMaChine, I don't see a spore. Yeah, there we go. Does get a spore here at the natural location. Didn't scout the main base, but again, he knows to cover his bases. Just because he has no confirmation as to what's going on, he needs spores, and we have one in each base. So spore in the main, spore at the natural, spore at the third. The Prism does move in, and there is going to be detection available. Overlord does spot the Prism. Warping in DTs. Lings are here to at least confirm what's going on. We pull back to the spore. With that, DTs are deflected. Prism under fire. One DT goes down. Ooh, a bit of an overextension out of Gerald. And so far, GgMaChine does hold. Now, bearing in mind that a DT opener is not an all-in. It is not an all-in. There are layers to this. Behind this, Gerald is expanding, getting a third base, and is going for an Archon drop follow-up. Usually, it's 2 Archons. You get 2 Archons here to juggle, to pick off Lings, to catch and chase down Overlords. But here it's only 1. Now warping in a second Archon. DT's even punishing the roaches. There's no detection. Yeah, nice punish. Overlord goes down. And you can see here that Gerald, he's still getting value. May not have dealt any economic damage, but he's still getting value nonetheless. Again, that's why this is a macro build, as you're able to build up and claim your economy, get your third base, building up immortals, getting ready for the roach counterattack. And likewise, GgMaChine is droning. He's droning, saturating, taking gases, and building up and embracing the mid-game. As mentioned previously, if we were casting, for example, Shin, Rogue, Solar, I would expect to see cutting workers at this point, getting a 4th base just for Lava, and going for a big 3 base all-in to punish the Protoss. But here, GgMaChine is droning. He's droning, he's saturating, he's getting upgrades, Evo Chambers on the way. That's a sign of +1, a sign of later play, and a later timing attack. This does mean that Gerald, he can freely trade, does get 1, 2, 3, up to 4. Oh my god, 4 roaches go down, a nice trades. At the same time, there was a Ling counterattack here across the map. 2 probes did go down, but overall a good trade here as the Archons are still up and running. They're still alive, and they've gotten quite a bit already, hunting down another Overlord. So just really nice value here out of Gerald. The Archon gets focused down. Ooh, nice pickup, gets another Overlord. The value. So far, it's been 4 roaches, 5 overlords, 16 lings, and 1 drone for 2 probes and 1 Dark Templar. So very efficient trades here by Gerald, and he's not done. He's not done. He's jumping once again into the main base. Oh, threading the 4th. Bearing in mind that behind all of this, GgMaChine, he's working on +1, and he's building up his roaches. A nice snipe of the Queen. Queen goes down. GgMaChine cut workers at 66. That is 3 base saturation. He's massing up a massive wave of roaches. That's a lot of roaches building up for GgMaChine. And the rush distance background from this 4th location to the 3rd base of Gerald is very short, especially with Gerald expanding towards his opponents, going for the high yield gas geyser base. But this is a very aggressive expansion and much more exposed as well. I say exposed, just very aggressive, very aggression. Speaking of aggression, here he comes. Gerald's the first to push. He's the first to move out. Now, thankfully, GgMaChine is making nothing but roaches. GgMaChine does have a decent roach army, but that's 3 immortals. Yeah, it's a very high immortal count. 2 dive in the first immortal. Yeah, does dive in. Biles on the Prism. Prism goes out. Massive pickup, and now the immortals will fall. There's no way out of this here. Massive pickup with the War Prism. Everything will go down, and it all just falls apart for Gerald as he will lose the entire army. Recalls 1 immortal to safety. Again, if that Prism was saved, then we can juggle the immortals. We can kite them back, and that would have been a much different fight. But again, now this base is being punished. As he mentioned, he was expanding towards his opponent. So a very ambitious expansion here. It's going to be denied. That's a kill, not a cancel. GgMaChine, he breaks down the pylon, and he's going for the kill. He's going for the kill, going for the throat. At this point, we can just rally across the map. He commits. Again, no drones at the 4. I mean, there was no 4th, to be fair. It was killed earlier. So no 4 base saturation. Just commits on 3 bases, breaks on through, takes down the cannons, the shield batteries. There are defensive DTs. Oh my god, they're trading well. No detection. No detection. The mass DT defends. No Overseer here with the main army. We have Overlord speed on the way for the Overseers. 14 probes did go down. That was critical damage. But Gerald, he survives with the Invisible Man. He survives, Pappy. Let's go. I mean, again, he's still behind, right? He still lost the mineral line and he lost the expansion. So Gerald, he's treading water. He's treading water right now. He's barely surviving, but he's not really thriving. As things, they peel off into the natural. Main army knocking down those rocks, morphing in more Ravagers, and here comes GgMaChine. Here comes the second wave, the second bush. This time with detection. This time Overseers have arrived. DTs will not be enough to defend this time. And there just isn't enough buffer here. There's not enough of an economy. Not enough support. Just too many losses early on. Too many, Pappy. Too many. And GgMaChine is snowballing out of control. Breaks down another immortal. Another immortal goes down. Does force a lift. Trying to get into that prison. The Archon goes down as well. We try to dive on top of the Overseers. Gerald, he's having fun. He's having fun. As the base has been broken. Lings, they trickle in. GG gets called. And GgMaChine, he takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Again, a very aggressive start here by Gerald, but his aggression was punished. If GgMaChine was droning, if he was saturating, if he was building up into a longer game, different story. But remember, GgMaChine, his 4th base was delayed. He got a later 4th expansion, and he cut workers at 6-6. He was massing up a massive wave of roaches, so he was ready for a push. Gerald, he was trying to be aggressive, but GgMaChine was not droning, so he was ready for the aggression, dealt with the army, more importantly, biled down the War Prism, and that was game. As soon as the War Prism went down, that was game then and there, and with that, we have a lead for GgMaChine, but now we're loading into game number 2. Loading into game 2. Gonna be loading into lockdown. Okay. Gonna be loading into lockdown here for that second game. Another one of our interesting, I mean, every map is interesting. We'll get into it. We will get into it. He also just announced a bunch of lands with his organization. Is to do announcements soon to him. Yes. Again, like Gerald, he's been very inactive playing, but he's been active in other ways, right? He's been focusing on other aspects of his career and other aspects of his of any kind of project that he has. So it's been very, very busy. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of lockdown. We have the orange Zerg player. The orange Zerg player himself representing Stouty Bulls, leading the series 1-0. It is GgMaChine. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. Let's go. Let us go, as we are going to be opening up and setting up on the high ground. I say on the high ground. So one of the big differences here, one of the big features of Lockdown is that we do have a high ground natural base. This is a rare site. It's a rare feature nowadays. Often we do have low ground expansions without any kind of high ground advantage at the natural base. But here we have a much more secure natural without ramp, without a high ground. So very secure natural. Likewise, we have a high ground third base as well. There is an area here in between the natural and the third that can be abused, that can be kind of assaulted. That is true. You can kind of engage in this central area here and try to punish a rotating army, but outside of that, your 3-base setup is relatively secure. If you can take over this area, especially with these towers that can be knocked down, you can secure yourself on 3 bases and then push across the map on the high ground as well. What? Gerald. As there's no block here, by the way, and he goes for a ninja natural base. Gerald, what? Mate, what's happening? What no, is he blocking the Nexus? No shot. That's why. Is that what just happened? Oh god, I was curious as to why this was happening. Yeah. Like again, like the pylon is too close. It's too close, so we couldn't expand. Oh boy. I mean, hey, there's a learning process, right? There's a learning process to each map, of course, to your SimCity, to your placement. But I mean, you can see the outline of the Nexus, and that gives a clearer picture as to how much space you need for a base, and you do need some space here for a set Nexus. That's unfortunate. And if Gerald GgMaChine realizes what's going on, he can punish this real hard, as he does see no expansion at least. Wonder if he's aware. Shout out to the tuna. Yeah, Lings are moving out across the map. Yeah, we're checking the third location. He's aware of its placements, and oh boy. It does confirm. Does confirm, coming in for this round. Adept does shade away. Battery's almost done. And he gets in. Oof. Does try to. Nice control here by Gerald. Does pull away. Shield battery does complete. And with that, Gerald holds. So far, it does hold on. Lings have rotated over. There's a sentry in position. We can force field. And so far, we're holding. We're defending. So far, so good. I would say the later mid-game kind of roach defense is going to be very difficult here for Gerald, just because of the placement of his buildings overall and how exposed this base is. But we'll see how GgMaChine does approach this. For now, he's making overlords, droning, saturating. And you can see Gerald has to kill his own pylon to make a nexus. Pylon goes down. Now he expands. You know, Gerald, he's making this work. It's okay. It's okay. Oof. Yeah, as GgMaChine, you can just abuse the central location. Surrounds the Stalker. Oh, doesn't quite get a kill. Stalker does survive. That was a big investment by GgMaChine. We have 6 more Lings on the way. Behind this, once again, a Twilight Council opener out of Gerald. Opening up Twilight Council in a Forge. Just a very, very awkward game. Very awkward. Like, it's... Well, we're getting messy. Getting messy. Gerald, he's trying to break out. He's got a sentries, like a Soul Train-esque move out here. He has no upgrades, just heavily reliant on his sentries and force fields. GgMaChine massing up his Lings, moving out across the map. I mean, there is an opening here at the natural, the quote-unquote unnatural natural. There's an opening. There's no battery here at the natural though. It's at the other. What are we saying? No expansion at the second base. Lings that commit here in towards our expansion. Like, I don't know what to call it. Like, is it the natural Lings that are surrounded here on the sentries as well? The battery's doing what it can, but sentries going down. Yeah, brutal pickoffs here. Losing a sentry early on, losing a Stalker as well. Battery's out of energy. But overall, I mean, does recall in time, does hold. Does sustain some losses here, but does hold on. Now, this is where I'm a little bit concerned that GgMaChine, his droning has been lacking. He does get up to 3-way saturation, but this is late because of all the Ling production. That is true. And that does delay his roaches. But I do feel like this roach timing with roach speed should hit very hard. Should hit very hard. Gerald does wall up. Does wall up. He does look to commit across the map. Once again, he's playing with fire. And behind this, GgMaChine has not been droning. He's making nothing but roaches. And here comes the main bush. Here comes the main army. They do pass by each other. Gerald does hit the 4th base, and GgMaChine, he responds. He reacts, he responds. Forced to engage with the main army. Does get a sentry. Even coming in from behind as well. It's coming in from behind whilst connecting with the force fields. All the sentries go down, and Gerald has to get the hell out of here. He's got to pull out. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much in the chat for resubscribing for how many? For 11 months. Gracias, Papa. Gracias. Thank you so much. Almost a year of support. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content, the casting of the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy. As GgMaChine is snowballing out of control at this point. Again, he collapses on the sentries, the zealous. It was just a very messy early game. Very messy early game. Very messy mid game as a result of that. Where Gerald, he has no road production. He has no core backbone of his army. Stuck with purely Blink Stalkers here, and there's just not enough support, not enough numbers here to hold on. Battery does complete, but it gets piled down. Does fall to the piles. 4th base is being broken, and Gerald is being chased down. It's being chased down as we speak, being zoned away from the main fight. And the 4th will fall. Oh. Does recall over. Recall does finish. No. But he still gets caught out. More Lings flooding in. Chasing down Gerald. Yeah, it does chase him down, collapsing onto more Stalkers. Zealots try to come in from behind. Desperation here by Gerald. And no, we depower the battery. The battery gets depowered. Boys are being pulled. And this should be the final moments here for Gerald, as he will lose his mineral line. I say that with these Stalkers, it looks like we can get on top of the Ravagers, true. So Gerald, he will barely hold on. He does hold, but he does sustain some crippling losses here. Oh. GgMaChine just has to calm down. Just back off, calm down, build up his army, consolidate his reinforcements. So GgMaChine does have to retreat for a moment here. And Gerald does buy some time to breathe. Does get some room to breathe here. Charge does begin. He's now taking up, and the reality is that Gerald, he needs his opponent to give him time, to just back off and give him time. But GgMaChine isn't waiting. He's not waiting. He's going for another push for round 2. The second round, Pappy. And Ravager's waddling in. Oof, Bars on cooldown. Sorry, Blinks on cooldown. Just now coming off. Still not. Oof. That's a lot of Stalkers getting caught. Depowers the gateways. Gets into the mineral line. And again, it was just a rough start. It was like Gerald, he wasn't able to play his game just because he had to invest so much early on to defending and surviving because of the unorthodox expansion. It was just a messy start. And again, it's just, you know, a learning curve when it comes to these maps. GG and GgMaChine will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the semis. GG. GG, well played. Again, just a really unfortunate start there for Gerald, as again, he's a little bit more unfamiliar with some of these maps and pylon placements and wall offs and things of that nature. Like, there is, you know, a learning curve to that sort of thing. You have to get experience on the maps to actually be able to get down like how to wall off, how to open up, and yeah, it was just a very messy start. GG. GG, well played. With that, GgMaChine does claim the series, and let's catch up on the rest of the bracket. Let's catch on up.